On today's video, I want to show you what I've gone through to modify my mobile setup. First one is how to quiet it down. The second one is actually a standard option on the Lone Wolf stands now, but I have an older Alpha, so I added the Batwing. And the third one is a tree stand transport system. The first one is where I take Renfrew hockey tape and we wrap the sticks, the down tube on the seat for the stand, and also the cables that level the stand. Sometimes your rubber boots will squeak against those. If we tape them, we can cut the sound out of that. I also tape up the buckles on the straps. That way when you're setting up your tree stand, if your buckle hits against your stick, it won't make any noise. Here's an example of what they sound like not wrapped. Pretty loud. After we wrap those, all that metallic sound is going to be gone. The tools that you're going to need is a set of Allen wrenches, a set of 7/16 wrenches, or you can do like what I'm doing today and use a set of ratchets. That'll help cut down on some time. I also use a set of scissors. That helps cut the tape. That tape is pretty strong. What I like to do is we'll strip all the hardware out of the sticks. Then I take 4 strips all the way down lengthwise. Then I'll wrap, overlapping the tape all the way down the stick. So that'll be the second layer. And then our third layer is I just take vertical strips again, full length of the strap. So we have 3 layers of tape. That gives a great cushion. It also takes out the cold to the touch feeling in the wintertime. It's hard to set up the stands with thick gloves on, so either do it barehanded or with very thin gloves. That'll help take the cold out of this aluminum. After we get it apart, we want to put it back together the exact same way that it was before while it was on the stick. That way you're not going to lose any of the plastic washers, not going to lose any of the nuts, none of the hardware. You'll be able to save all the hardware. The last thing you want to do is have to replace some of the hardware before you need to. I like to start on the top side of where that step swivels. There's no reason to start down here. It's such a small area for contact that shouldn't bother you. And like I said, when we do this, we just want to overlap about 1/8 of an inch. What that does is it creates that extra layer of cushion just in case we bump the sticks with anything. This is the V bracket that goes on the tree. Your stick is here. I also tape these up. There's a good chance that your buckle is going to hit one of these when you're strapping the tree together. So what I do is I keep all the tape off the teeth. There's no reason to get any there. We want to stay safe. We want to be quiet, but we want to stay safe. We don't want to give this any reason to slide up and down the tree. So I just take one strip over, tighten that down, then I take a strip as close to the edge of the teeth as I can get it, cut it off, wrap it over, and I flip it over, do the same thing from the other side. That gives us 3 layers on the V bracket too. That's going to quiet it down a tremendous amount. This is what the finished V brackets look like. We're taped here. The rest of the tubes are taped. Also, we have the buckle. I taped the buckle up maybe 6 or 7 layers. That's going to be swinging around the tree, and the more layers you have on the buckle, the better. I have 4 sticks. I was able to do the down tube on the tree stand, the cables, 3 sticks, 3 buckles, all with just under 2 rolls of tape. Okay? The link that I'm going to share in the description is for 3 rolls. I have the whole 3rd roll left. That's going to allow me to do the perimeter of the tree stand. Last year I had that wrapped in paracord. It helped a little bit, but I think wrapping that perimeter in this tape is going to do a much better job at cutting down noise while I'm walking through the brush and thorns and whatnot. The stand shouldn't make any noise if I get that wrapped up good, but I have a whole roll of tape left over for the deer stand itself. So with 2 rolls of tape, you're going to be able to do 3 sticks, your down tube on your stand, and the cables, and all your buckles for sure. This is the bat wing that's on the stand. What that does, it allows you to set up in a tree that's crooked. So if the tree's running at a bad angle, you can set this stand at any angle because of the way that these claws are in the back. I don't tape those because I don't want anything between the stand and the tree. It's incredible on the tree because it allows you to set up in any tree. The sticks, you can climb up any tree that's crooked because you can move them back and forth as you need on the tree, and this will allow you to sit in any tree that you want to. The easiest way to tape the cables, straighten that out as good as you can. Start with the tape on one edge all the way down, then just slowly work it around. It doesn't really matter what it looks like as long as it's quiet. That's the only thing we're worried about. Everything needs to be quiet. When you're doing this and you're taking stuff apart, it's a great time to look and see if you need to replace any of your plastic washers that for metal on metal contact. Another thing to do is replace any bolts that might be rusted and stuck. Today, I gotta get rid of that squeak. Today I replaced the bolt on the seat. It was really rusty, took me a long time to get it out of there. On the down tube on the stand, I did the same process. Took vertical strips down, then I wrapped it, then I took vertical strips down again, and then I just took a hobby knife and I cut the grooves out for the cable adjustments. The tape is pretty tough to cut out of the grooves in the down tube. You just got to take your time, try to get as much tape out of that slot as possible. That's going to help make those adjustments easier in the field. The last thing, but the part that I think is going to make the biggest difference this year, is the XOP tree stand transport system. Lone Wolf doesn't make anything like this. XOP is the only one that I've found. I think it was Game Plan Gear used to have a very similar system. It's extremely comfortable, a good back pad. It's very stiff, so you don't feel the stand on your back. It has 8 quick connect buckles, and it's super simple to put on. It's just a simple loop. You slide this through there and you're done. There's 8 of those on there. They also sell extra ones so that you only need to buy one tree stand transport system, but you can buy 8 belts, or you can buy 8 buckles and move the the pack part of the system from stand to stand extremely simple. All the webbing has been double stitched. A lot of the contact points for the stitching has been stitched multiple times. Everything looks extremely tough. This little chest buckle, about 6 inches of adjustment to be able to get that buckle to where it's comfortable on your chest. I'm a pretty small guy, so I have everything cinched down pretty tight right now. If you're a bigger guy, you can get these straps as big as you need them. There's an extreme amount of adjustability to it, and like I said, it seems very, very tough. I've taken it on a couple of 1 mile hikes already. The biggest positive to this system is it gets all the weight to your hips with this lumbar belt or kidney belt. All the Western hunters talk about getting the weight to your hips and off of your shoulders, and it makes a big difference as far as able to carry heavy weight for a long distance. With my stand and the sticks and my camera gear, I'm hauling in about 40 pounds of gear. A lot of times I'm making a 1 to 2 mile walk. Last year it was pretty difficult with a lot of that weight on my shoulders. This year I feel like it's going to be way different having this tree stand transport system, because all that weight's going to be on my hips. Even in the winter time with bigger bulkier clothes on, the amount of adjustability in this thing, I should have no problems being able to get that on, get it over, and strap down. So far I've been extremely happy with how it fits. Each one of the buckles has so much adjustability that this tree stand transport system should fit on 99% of all portable tree stands made. That was their goal. It's not just made for XOP tree stands. This is a Lone Wolf Assault. I understand that they're pretty much the exact same as the XOP version. But any stand that you're able to get this webbing into, you're going to be able to get this system on there. So I'll just throw this on for you guys. That way you can see how it is, how it fits. Shoulder straps. You put the hip belt on. The webbing is extremely stiff. Put that on. Tighten this down. There's also these straps adjust how it rides on your back. What I've found is if you leave them just a little bit loose and let that stand rock back a little bit, it's going to put more weight on your hips. Right now, the only thing that my shoulders are doing is keeping the stand from tipping over backwards. All the weight right now is on my hips. It's extremely quiet. All the buckles are wrapped with neoprene. It's extremely comfortable. I can't say enough about how I think this is going to change how I'm able to move through the public land this year. And any long hike that I need to go on with my tree stand is going to be much more comfortable this year than it has been in the past. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the blog. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.